This is episode 21 of the Brand Authority Podcast. Today, we're talking about 3 ways you can set social media goals that you actually achieve in your business. Stick around.
This is the Brand Authority Podcast, the show for growth-driven leaders who want to win more customers, increase revenue, and gain the competitive edge. Broadcasting from sunny Los Angeles, here's your host, Rebecca Radice.
Well, hello and welcome back. So great to be here with you in this new year and talking about something that so often we don't give ourselves the right time or the right space to work through. But it is no secret that setting social media goals increases the likelihood of your success, just like any other goals in your life. When you've got that target, when you have something that you're actually following, you're working through every single day, it increases the likelihood that you're actually going to commit to them, that you're actually going to achieve them. So today, I want to talk about 3 different ways you can actually create goals that you are going to stick with. And more than that you're actually going to achieve within your business. Now, before we jump in, I want you to reflect on your previous year. Reflection. It's a great place to start for a variety of reasons. First of all, it helps you highlight, it helps you examine and interpret what really worked for you and what didn't. Because too often we're moving so quickly, we don't take the time to truly reflect on what's transpired, what did we proactively put into place last year, and what really took off, what resonated with your audience, and then what it's just really not serving you at this point. What do you need to let go of? So I want you to find yourself a quiet place, somewhere where you can really do some reflecting and write down your honest answers to a few questions. Number 1. Is your business today, right this second, in this moment, exactly where you want it to be? Number 2. Have you achieved everything you set out to do? So did you achieve last month, last week, last year, everything that you had set out to do in the first place? Number 3, is your clientele exactly who you want them to be? This is a biggie. Too often we give away our power. We say yes to things we know in our hearts we should say no to. We say yes to those customers that we know they're going to be a pain in the butt. We know that they're going to be a handful, and we still say yes. And then number 4, is revenue humming along and growing at an exponential rate? Did you grow your bottom line in the way you envisioned? Are you exactly where you want to be right now? Are you doing exactly what you want to be doing right this very second? And most importantly, are you doing it with, are you working with those exact people that you designed, that you have spelled out in your business plan, that you have really thought through are the people you were born to serve? All of those answers are going to work their way into your business goals, of course, but your social media goals as well. Now, if you're not exactly where you want to be, no worries. You have plenty of time to get yourself there, and I'm going to help you today with just one small piece of it, which is focusing on your social media goals. But here's the great news. These few steps we're going to work through here together, you can actually use these in every aspect of your business. So let's jump in, and we're going to start with step 1 to actually putting in place some social media goals that you're going to be able to achieve over the next year. All right, so we're going to start at the top. And first and foremost, step number one is creating your high level social media objectives. So, your social media objectives are going to support your overall business objectives. And the first thing I want you to do is to write down those three high level, big, bold social media objectives. So here you are really focusing on those goals that are going to challenge you. They're going to inspire you, and they're also going to fast track your social media success, but more than that, your business success, because they're rolling up into everything you're trying to achieve as a company. So whether you are a solopreneur, entrepreneur, whether you have your own small business, no matter what the size or the scope of your company, you are going to begin with these high level objectives. So, first of all, thinking about what are those three big, bold things you want to achieve, I want you to make sure that they are getting a resounding yes to this question. So as you think about what those social media objectives are, you want to answer, is this something that when achieved would absolutely blow your freaking mind? So at the end of the year, you look back and you go, holy crap, how did I ever accomplish that? If it doesn't get a resounding yes, if it doesn't make you want to leap out of your chair, it doesn't make you want to run around and do some laps because you're so darned excited about it, then move on. Move on to the next one. Think of something bigger, better, bolder. Now, once you've started to think through and come up with your three big, bold objectives, now you've got to create three key business or social media results that are going to come out of that. So let me explain a little bit how these two work together. So your objectives are what you want to achieve. They're where you want to go. The key results are how you're going to get there every single day, and then what that eventual outcome is going to be. So let me give you an example of what this might look like. So your objective could be that you attract 10 new business clients per month through LinkedIn. So think of it as high level, your big, bold objective, and then your key results are what's going to transpire from that. And remember, these need to be directly aligned to what you're looking to achieve in your business. So if you're wanting to grow your bottom line, grow your revenue, then what are you going to need to do? You're going to need to talk to more people. You're going to need to convert more people and turn those people into actual paying clients, customers, users, whatever it is you're trying to achieve within your business. So while that's your objective, your key result might be that of those 10 new business clients that you attract through LinkedIn, that you convert 30% of those into actual paying customers. So now that you have your three objectives and then your three key results for each of those objectives, I want you to write down one stretch goal, what I call a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal that is that, go big or go home type of goal. And if you haven't heard that term, Jim Collins and Jerry Porras first coined the term back in their 1994 book. So if you haven't read it, Built to Last, Successful Habits of Visionary Companies, I highly recommend it. But today that term, we're talking about it in the sense of social media goals. It's your stretch. It's your big ambitious. It's your high performance goal that no matter what you want to call it is going to have a very big impact on your results. Now you may be wondering, what exactly do these stretch goals look like? Well, as you sit down and you start to work through your own, make sure that they're very clear, they're compelling, They're energizing. They get you worked up because you are just so inspired by them, and they are highly focused. So I want you to think of it like this. Your stretch goals are a big woolly mammoth. You can envision that right in your mind. You know, that huge prehistoric animal with those giant tusks. If what you've written down brings that image to mind, it just feels big in your mind. That is your BHAG. All right, so that was step 1. Now I want you to move to step 2, where you're going to prioritize those objectives. So for each objective, I want you to answer this one question. You're going to fill in the blanks. When I achieve blank, so fill it in with your objective, blank will happen. So it will increase or improve or radically change by, and then I want you to fill in this last blank. So what are you going to increase or improve? Is it going to be by a certain percentage, by a number, by an amount of leads? So think back to that example of LinkedIn. It could be that your conversion rate is going to radically improve by 30% in Q1. So you want to be as specific as possible in what that outcome is actually going to be. I think too often we get caught up in these big, bold results, but we don't put the actual steps and the actual numbers behind it to support that. Because if you can't visualize what that actual outcome is going to be, there's no way you can take steps every single day, every single week to get yourself there. Now, step number 3 is the biggie. This is creating a plan of action. And again, this is where we fall down, right? We write all this stuff down, we do all this visualizing, and we're super excited about our social media goals, and then we don't actually follow through. So putting a action plan in place is going to be your key to having a radically different type of year than you had last year. And to me, this is really the fun part. It's where you're going to envision what you need to make happen to get those goals going, to actually achieve everything that you know you want to do this year. So it could be that you're going to need to hire an assistant in order to hit your social media goals. Maybe it's that you've got to allocate some funds, so you need a bigger budget or a more integrated strategy. So you're going to have to add a couple of key pieces to be able to achieve what it is that you are visualizing and putting in place. Whatever the case, this is where you're going to begin to work through those teeny tiny daily details that are going to formulate your action plan. So now, as new actions come to mind, you're going to add those to your list. And whether or not you use something as simple as Excel or a Google Sheet, or you use something like Evernote or Google Calendar to capture all of this, you need a place where you can dump all of these thoughts, all of these ideas, and be very, very specific about what it is you want to do, what it is you're going to actually achieve, and then how you're actually going to get there. So I'm going to give you an example of what that action plan is going to look like based off of that idea that we want to increase our conversion rate by 30% on those leads that are coming from LinkedIn. So your action plan on a daily, weekly, monthly basis might be that you're going to survey your customers. You're going to ask them one question. And that one question is, what's their biggest struggle when it comes to, and then fill in the blank with that problem that you solve, that challenge that you are solving on their behalf. Then your next action might be that you create a new lead magnet based on that number one problem. So let's say you send out a message to all of your LinkedIn contacts and you ask them, what is that biggest challenge that you're struggling with? And they get back with you and they say, oddly enough, it's Facebook ads. I can't get my Facebook ads to convert. So you create a new lead magnet based on that problem, and it's how to create a Facebook ad that actually speaks to your audience and gets in front of your audience and converts at a much lower rate than they've ever been paying. So they're spending less money, but they're actually able to get in front of that exact target audience. Then your next action plan within this is that you're going to design a new landing page and a funnel for that new lead magnet. So you're creating this download, maybe you're creating a video series, so a tutorial, however you want to package that up. And then you're going to create your landing page and then a funnel process to bring them in. So you can see your plan of action is all designed around your customer, around your customer's struggling moment. So what is it that they're dealing with? What is that one problem that you can solve on their behalf? And then how are you going to get it out there and in front of them? Well, you're going to create a landing page. You're going to create a workflow or a sales funnel within that process in where you can actually serve this up to them. So think about this plan of action in both a daily, a weekly, and a monthly type of strategy. What do you have to do today to achieve X by the end of this week? And then by this month, what are you actually going to put out there into the world? What is that product? What is that service? What is that solution that you're going to be able to bring to your audience? And the most important piece of this is to schedule deadlines with all of this. All of this needs to actually have a deadline and a date that you're going to make these things happen, because deadlines, they are the fuel that are going to power your social media goals. And Adam Savage, if you're not familiar with who he is, he's a former co-host for Discovery Channel's Mythbusters, puts it this way. He says, deadlines refine the mind. They remove variables like exotic materials and processes that take far too long. The closer the deadline, the more likely you'll start thinking way outside the box. And I look at deadlines as milestones. They're a way for you to track, to measure, to analyze your progress. They're going to keep you very motivated, very energized, very inspired about your end goals. So if you have found that you've kind of started to put goals in place before, but you never stuck with them, this is why. You didn't have a plan of action and you didn't schedule a deadline. It is so easy to get lost in all those other projects that we have going on, in working with customers or in building out that next app or whatever it is you're working on. It's very easy to get sucked into the minutia of that and lose track of all those other little things that have to go on within your business in order for you to succeed. So plan of action, deadlines is what takes those goals from a wish to actually something that you're going to achieve within your business. And as I said, they keep you motivated and inspired because they're like that carrot dangling in front of your face where you can see it, you can taste it, you can feel it, and you're going to be able to actually high five and pat yourself on the back and be able to cheer yourself on and celebrate those wins when they do happen. So you've got to keep them in front of yourself, and you've got to put them somewhere you're actually going to pay attention to them. So whether it is a Google Calendar situation or a reminder type of program, something like Trello or Jira, Atlassian is what my team actually uses, you need a way to follow through, really pay attention to every step of those social media goals that you're looking to achieve. And one last thing within that is it takes away the overwhelm, because when we look at these things as a whole, if I were just to sit here and say, I want to convert 30% more leads from LinkedIn, I'm like hyperventilating. How in the world am I going to do that? When I chunk it down into daily, into weekly, into monthly, actionable ways that I'm going to achieve this, then all of a sudden, oh, all right, that's totally doable. It's very realistic. It doesn't feel like this big, crazy scheme I've come up with in my mind. It feels as if something that I can actually achieve, and I can see, because I've been strategic in how I'm creating these, that it truly does support the growth of my business. So there you have it, a few different ways that you can start to put some social media goals into place that truly do support the health and the growth of your business without sucking up a whole lot of time and energy, and don't take you a ton of time to sit down and formulate. Now, if you really want to put your social media goals, your business goals on overdrive, go on over and grab my 2018 goal setting guide plus a worksheet that is going to walk you through every step of the way how to create business and life goals that help you find balance, that really restore that clarity back into your business and life, into what exactly do you want to achieve and how are you getting there? What does that roadmap look like? That are those steps, that plan of action that we talked about, that are going to help you work towards that every single day. You can grab that at RebeccaR.com/2018 Goal Guide. And we'll put that in the show notes. Love for you to grab that and really make this year your best year yet. Until next time, I'll see you right back here at the Brand Authority Podcast.